Call the meeting to order of the Permanent Building Committee. We're meeting in the new Nelson Senior and Community Center. All committee members are present. What's first on the list is approve the minutes. I'd like to take a motion for approving the minutes from last month.
I'll make the motion. September 23rd.
I'll second.
Sorry?
I'll second,
Did
Jim.
you-
I made the motion, Kevin seconded it.
Okay, did you get that? Okay, all those in favor, please raise your hand. All those opposed? So moved. Correspondence and mail. There's been no correspondence, although I did receive a couple of emails, and I forget what they were, but I tried to solve the problems. I think one was why there wasn't a flag on a flagpole. I talked to Beth about it, and she wasn't flying the flag because the solar light wasn't working. Once we found out it wasn't working, I went to Dan, who went to Seaver, and they sent somebody down the next day, and it seemed to be a Seaver problem. Somebody didn't flip the switch on. So now we have the lights, and I came in here someday this week, and Beth asked me to put up the flag, and I went out, unlocked the lanyard, and it's got two hooks with two covers, and I don't know how to hook them up. So I told her I couldn't do it at the construction meeting Tuesday. I must have done it Monday, because the construction meeting Tuesday, I mentioned it. Seaver sent me an email with a video of a generic lanyard tie-off, but it didn't have the protective covers. So I did not respond back because I went to Dan, the on-site OPM, and he said that Seaver would take care of it. So that's where it stands now. So that's one problem
Is the light on now?
Huh?
Can you see the light, is it on now?
Automatic come on?
It's supposed to.
I can't.
I can't see the.
I can't see it. I don't think it's on yet.
Just wondering, I didn't think so.
Should be beside my car. Nope.
The timer thing?
Oh, it's solar, I think.
Well, it's maybe not dark
Delta's
enough.
I
actually.
have no idea.
Yeah, they covered it with a blanket to check during the day to see if it would come on, and they sent the photo.
So, I received a call today about the water not being on, and they need a special key to turn the water on. I tried to solve that problem, and by, I guess, 3 o'clock, Sochi was given a key, although the water was already on.
Dan came over, and there was a key in the faucet in the back of the building,
Oh, okay.
and there should be at least 3 or 4 others.
Somewhere.
They believe that they had been turned in
To,
facilities.
and that's another, when I get to my report, that's another problem I have.
So Beth, you have the water key now, right?
I know there is one in the admin area.
Yeah, I
That was the
said,
one that you used.
I
thought.
suggested just leave it there so you know where it is.
Thank you.
At the last meeting Tuesday, the white chair that doesn't match the other 3 chairs around the table was boxed up and ready to go. Somebody came to pick it up and it wouldn't fit out the door of the box. Beth, do you know where that went?
Oh, they took it back.
Oh, they did?
He ended up coming and taking it back.
Okay, so that's the most recent update, because at the Tuesday meeting, I was told, we were told to keep it, but
He said-
obviously they picked it up, so
Yep.
that's not a problem anymore. I contacted Ed about the Nelson Memorial paraphernalia to go up next to the building plaque, because we've been dealing with it for probably 2 months. And he got back to me that it'll probably be done sometime next month. Do you want to comment? I got a call about the temperature in the building because in the exercise room, their body heat gets up and they don't need the temperature of the building in that room as high as the rest of the building. And I don't know how the thermostats are set. I told whoever called me, which goes to another problem I have, to call Chris, because Chris is the janitor facilitator, not Dan, not Mike Units, but Chris. And that's something I want to get straightened out tonight. What's the chain of command when there's a problem?
Right.
I gave, on the water thing, I said to go to Chris because I figured he had the access keys. I gave the number to Bob Briscoe, but he called me for the problem, and I think if there's any problems with the building, it should go through Chris and nobody else, and then Chris will reach out, if it happens to be a construction problem, he'll reach out to the contractor, but if it's a facilities problem, like no toilet paper or something else, or like the temperatures, because I understand he set the ranges, because the problem in a public building, as some of us know, is people will come in,
It was freezing up yesterday.
well, people will come in and play with I don't know what it was set at, and I'm not an HVAC guy, so.
Chris sent me an email that he was coming over this afternoon to check the
So-
set points. I don't know if he did or not.
Yeah, he did, it's actually beautiful in here right now, the issue that we're having is the community room is used for two extremely diverse populations.
C-A-I-N-E-R.
So I have a bingo, which is my older, more temperature-sensitive crowd, so they get cold, and then I have my fitness people who are working out in the same room, and I have no ability to control anything. So I don't know if there's any way to have a set point with the ability to put it up a little or down a little. I don't know. It looked like you could do that when it was on cold, but now that the heat's on, I tried doing that in my office and there was no, this is cold. So that's the problem, is we have two different groups that are using the room with different needs.
Mr. Chairman, is that fixed now?
I don't know.
Can I ask Pat?
Sure.
Pat, is it fixed now?
No, well, yes, so we have heat now, so we're not gonna freeze, but we don't have the ability to even tweak it up a little or down a little
Or
yet.
did he say you can?
I don't know, Chris was gonna watch some videos and get back to me.
Our understanding is that the system is designed so that you can't raise and lower the thermostats, so that the building energies
Okay, then,
is an issue, it's an energy code. So yeah, there may be a 2 or 3 degree
yeah,
range,
that's what we're looking for, is that
but
the 2 or 3 degree range would help.
part of what I had asked Chris to do is to get with you as far as whatever your program needs are.
Yep,
No,
yeah,
no, no.
he's working with me on that, and we do have heat now, so we're way happy.
Chairman, I got a couple more things on the list. You got things on your list?
I'm not done with my report, but I'll come back to you.
Sure.
As far as the senior center goes, I also asked Steve when, because I signed 2 vouchers last week, one for August and one for September, for a triple-digit amount, which nobody has to know. But I'm just wondering when we're gonna stop paying. This building is owned by the town, and Steve could not give me a definite answer of when we stop paying for DBVW and when do we stop paying for, Vertex. And I'd like to get out of those commitments so that we're not paying money, because Dan's probably up here, I'm gonna say 10–15% of his time solving flagpole problems, water problems, whatever. But, which should be solved by Chris Zahner. And so I want to go on record that if there's any problems, I don't mind answering the call, because I'll tell you what I'm telling everybody publicly now. Call Chris Zahner. If I can give you the answer, I'll tell you, but if I can't, the person in charge of the building, maintenance-wise and problem-wise, is Chris. And like I said before, and I love repeating myself, if it's a construction problem, Steve and Dan will be notified. If it's a facilities problem, Chris will answer the question.
But that'll still go through Chris.
Yes, everything should go through Chris. Am I correct or not correct?
That's, one point of contact is the best way of doing it.
I enjoy it, because I'm going camping this weekend, and I'm not as far as Las Vegas, but I don't need 7 phone calls this weekend. But you'll call me just to see if my phone works.
Turn it off.
I'm not that kind of guy. I don't answer it sometimes.
Same thing.
As far as the date of turnover, I also have, we've set a date for the ribbon cutting, and I asked Beth 2 days ago if Mike Units had contacted her, because Mike was supposed to contact her. They have set a ribbon cutting date for November, I can't remember, but.
The town hall is the 14th.
So it
Did I
would
say
be the
town hall?
15th.
I haven't heard anything for the senior center.
Yeah.
The
So they've
15th.
set a ribbon cutting date for the town hall in November, which it'll be in a minute someplace.
Is it the 14th or 15th? Do you know what date is?
The only one I know is the town hall is the
What was it?
14th.
14th. What time?
This building is the 15th, at 1 o'clock.
What time?
The Friday, the 15th, at 1 o'clock.
What about the 14th? What about the town hall?
That's,
That's the town hall.
I believe that
At
was
6
at
o'clock.
6 at night.
6 o'clock.
Yep,
6 o'clock at night, though, I thought.
town hall.
Town hall is 6 at night.
And the 1 o'clock date time you were naming was for what?
Our ribbon cutting here is Friday, the 15th, at 1 PM.
Has that been confirmed by,
Mike Unit sent out an email, yeah, that was confirmed with Mike this afternoon.
okay. So that's off my list. I guess the other stuff comes under the town hall. As far as me trying to get Vertex and DBVW off our payroll, I understand that we have some contract, I don't know how the word is, but contract items that we don't have, like for the town, for the senior center, we don't have walkway lights, we don't have a sign, we don't have AVIT, we don't have the furniture complete, we don't have, well, we don't know if the punch list is gonna be complete. I heard a rumor that November 5th will be the confirmation date that we hopefully get everything done, which the previous things I
60
named
days.
won't be, because we're waiting.
Whether or not they hit it remains to be seen.
Yeah. So there's a list of things that are missing for this building, and it's all yours, Bob.
Okay. The ladies,
Wait a minute, is there any questions? No questions, okay.
the ladies' room here, the first commode, the ladies' room, it doesn't flush. You're gonna read it flushing.
We got an email on that, forwarded it to Seaver, Seaver forwarded it to the plumber.
So when's the guy get fixed?
I did not get a response back. That was yesterday.
There's a light out here that stays on 24 hours a day, right out by the flagpole. It's a light.
All the lights stay
No,
on.
there's one out here that I saw today. It's been
No,
on.
all the parking lots
Parking lots, yeah.
stay on. And the answer to that question was, we have to wait till the walkway lights come in, because they're all synced together.
I didn't see any other lights on except for that one out here today.
We'll be able to check it after we leave here, but the light.
Well, he's
the
talking
light
daytime.
fixtures-
Daytime.
Well,
Daytime, the rest of them are out, just that one out here.
Right now, they've told us that they haven't programmed them, so. Because
I
they're
just
tied
bring it
into
up.
into the walkway lights, which those lamps have to be replaced in our morning. The ones along the sidewalk here, in front of the building.
The front entry door. When you take and push the open for a handicap, the door opens, one opens when you push it to come in, and timed it, it's like 10 seconds or a little bit more, and then if you press the other one, it's the same way. And sometimes when the people come in, the older people come in, it closes on them, and they have to push it, or they get, one lady was stuck there, she didn't have enough energy to push it open. Is there any way that they can get a motion detector, the other one had a motion detector in it, so that if someone was in there and you touched that door when it was closing, it would open back up?
It has a sensor on it.
It doesn't work then.
It doesn't have the vision sensor?
It most certainly does. It's
Well,
probably not calibrated to the right angle.
It does not. The
So-
guy that came here from the door said we do not have that on it.
It's
And that-
supposed to have one.
It's supposed to have the vision
You can
system?
look at it and see, do you know if you're looking at it, could you tell?
No.
You can set the
I can't
time
tell.
on those too, can't you?
What's that?
Within reason.
Yeah, like it's
So-
like 10, 20, 30 seconds or something.
But it's supposed to have that sensor to prevent that from happening.
Yeah, so it won't start to shut if it still picks you up.
Right.
Yeah.
But the problem is, when you open that door and it's cold,
Yeah.
right, and both doors are open for a amount of time, it really blows cold air right in here.
They're both
Just
not supposed to open at the same time.
saying- No,
They're not on the same circuit, though? You have to press one button and then the
Yeah,
other?
Correct.
that's the way it's supposed to be.
So it shuts behind you and it creates a vacuum. and then you-
There may be a point when they both partially
Yeah,
open.
right.
Because they're so slow, they stay open a long time, the guy that came in from the door company to do their annual inspection, he said if we had the sensors on there, they could shrink the time that it's open,
Yeah,
or lessen the time that it's
if
open.
something was there, it would open back.
So right now, it's really, really slow, because you need to have people who are handicapped have time to get through the portal. But if the sensors were there, if somebody able-bodied could walk quickly through it, it would shut more quickly.
We'll have
Does
to
that
check
make sense?
on the whole sensor issue.
Cool.
Because you're saying it's supposed to be, yeah.
Let's see, because that's it, you already got the heating thing. Is there anything else, Beth, that I missed? The heating, ladies' room, front doors, light outside.
Nothing that I can think, I know I talked with Chris that we're missing some keys, so to the big community room, we don't have a way to keep those doors unlocked. So if they're in there doing a fitness class and one person comes out to use the restroom, they're locked out. So we're looking for those keys. We're looking for, I think, the key to the back porch door and the kitchen door. Those three keys are missing. And then the electronic keypad at the end of the back hallway isn't working still. But I think you addressed that.
Yeah, there's some
I don't know
hardware
if
that's
they
back
fixed
ordered.
it. Did they fix it yet?
No.
No, when they get the hardware that's supposed to be delivered tomorrow to the town hall, they're gonna schedule with Chris, through Chris, have a man come out and they've gotta change some lever sets and some cores, and they're gonna look at that door comes out of your office suite.
I
into
think
the
that's why
hallway.
you can't keep those other doors open, because those cores are missing.
Oh, maybe.
To dog it down.
Yeah. So,
So that is, okay, cool.
And
hopefully that'll
one,
be taken care of.
and one more thing, the 5-pole light is not on.
Yeah, so.
It's still off.
And it's,
And I forgot, the insect nest in the cupola over the entrance is still there. So when he brings the ladder for that, he can probably use that too.
there's a nest.
Well, it's not a nest, it's
This
just,
is dirty. That's been on the
honestly,
punch
nothing you
list for a long time.
noticed.
No, if it was birds, I would have said, like, leave them there, but
What?
I said if it was a bird's nest, it would be okay, but if it's a bee's nest,
It's not, it's like a spider web.
no. Bugs, we don't want.
You can look at it when you leave.
I don't.
Okay, we're all done with the list of changes that'll be done in 6 months. I guess it's your turn,
I have a
Steve. Oh, wait a minute.
Just one thing, at our last meeting, it was voted on that we would order square tables for, did that ever get ordered, or what's the status of that?
I sent an amendment to WB Mason, but the tables are a 12-week lead time,
Okay,
but they're ordered,
thank you. Thank you.
6 of them.
And they're gonna, I think he's gonna bring another one of those multicolored chairs for the cafe. They took out the beige one.
There was some open punch list that they have, but. Yeah. And we had to get a new quote because the old quote was for all the furniture. We got a new quote that includes delivery and installation. So
Thank you.
I've got it as a slide, so you know how much you're paying for it.
Thank you very much. Exciting.
Anybody else? Okay, Steve, you're up.
Hold on 1 second, I'm going to try and share my screen.
Maybe I'm done.
That's his screen.
Okay.
On the slideshow. So it's good.
This is, yeah, hold on. Yeah. Okay, so update for tonight's meeting, for work that's been done over the past month. This will be rather short compared to the previous ones. So for the senior center, progress since the last PBC meeting, which was
You want to zoom that right here?
which was on September 23rd. Lunches has been ongoing. The lawn has been reseeded. HVAC commissioning is nearly complete, and the closeout has been ongoing. Seaver's schedule work ahead is complete their punch list. Program the exterior light bulbs, which we just talked about. Complete the HVAC commissioning. We'll get the report from Fitzmyer and Tachi once everything is 100%. Complete the remedial work on the concrete sidewalks. Manage the weed growth and the reseeding, which right now I think they've done the work on the weed growth where we will see, and we are getting some grass starting to pop. Complete the owner training, which is also very close. There's only a couple items left, and complete their closeout documents. Other issues for the senior center, Beth and, the COA generated a punch list. We did issue that to Seaver. There was some duplicative items that was already on DBBW's punch list, but they've been addressing those. And, the additional furniture we just talked about, we did issue an amendment to WB Mason for $5,516.90, and they reported that as a 12-week delivery. The Severs contract amount, final accounting is ongoing for a couple PCOs, gathering up the utility use back charges through the date of substantial completion, and a few other issues. Comcast installed the cable service line from the street to the building on the 7th of October, and that is been wired into the server room. On the audiovisual, shop drawings were submitted by Pro AV for review and approval on the base scope. Once we have it, take a look, we got those on Tuesday morning. We'll take a look and get those back to them, and that way we'll be able to give you a date of when that material is going to be delivered and installed. And again, that's just the base scope. There's some additional work that has been requested, but we wanted to get them going and get the TVs and the monitors installed first, and then go from there. Also, a miscellaneous item, the millwork subcontractor on this project filed a payment bond claim against Seeger and copied the town, basically for a couple months that they were claiming that they were owed money. See, that's completely in Seeger's court, but we have informed them that we want a retraction letter once that's resolved. It wasn't sent to the town, it was, the town was copied on that.
So they didn't file for direct payment?
Not a file submitted. That was their only recourse, was the thing. So, any questions on senior center?
Seeing none, I have a couple of additions. First of all, I asked a question of Seaver at the construction meeting Tuesday, who will pay for the electricity for the lights being on 24/7? I didn't get an answer, but at least it's down somewhere that we don't feel the town should be paying because they're back ordering lights or whatever. That's a construction project problem that they should.
You're referencing the light poles in the parking lot.
Yes. And the second thing is on Comcast, I took it upon myself, there was discussion about bringing Comcast back in the building and taking them from the AV room and putting in the boxes to run the TVs and stuff like a commercial, like a house. And I interjected that I didn't feel that it was appropriate to do it till we got the TVs, because I'd sooner have the TVs here for them to hook up to, rather than have the cables run now, somebody install the TVs, and then the TVs don't work with the cable thing, so we don't need the cables in it, the TVs on here, so I would say I asked to have it postponed, so that's something I asked to have postponed.
They're not actually running any cable. We've got Cat 6 drops to every TV. It's an interface in the room, but the issue is without the TV there, they don't know if they get the signal.
They can't send it up.
Send a signal.
Right.
You just can't test it.
It is a valid comment.
And that's it. I lost my script. There any other business to bring up? Want to pick a meeting day?
I gotta do town hall.
Oh, that's right, this is a committee meeting, no, okay. Town hall, I have some stuff first. I passed out to everybody what I presented to the selectmen based on what I had on the day I presented it. Steve has told me that some of the figures may change, which I'm hoping they won't, but this is, I met with the Finance Committee on Tuesday. After some discussion, they voted on unanimously to approve Article 11 and Article 12 of for the town meeting. Then they had a joint meeting. I don't know why I had to go to both of them, but I went. They had a joint meeting on Thursday night, and the select board also unanimously voted on approving Article 11 and Article 12. I'll give you a brief synopsis because a lot of us want to get home or on the road or something. The first page is Article 11. It proves to the people, the taxpayers, because this will be basically what I'll be taking my script from. I have asked for new figures, but nobody has presented them to me, so these will be figures as of October 6th. These 6 projects, and I use the term pots of gold, 5 projects, is what was found by the town manager. So these are leftover amounts that the town has already, the taxpayers have already paid for. So that was one page. The second page was, there was some debate at the finance committee, because they're used to dealing with numbers and I'm not, about the $40 million and what's left over and whatever. But after some discussion, they approved it. The third page, with all the numbers on it, is something Steve sent to me after the fact, but before the meeting. When we voted on the demolition, we were told 1.2, I believe. And actually, the PCO came out to 1.3 and then Steve said there were the added costs, proposed costs, which when he gets talking about the town hall, he's going to change these figures again. Page 4 is what I proposed to them in the found money from the leftover projects, which the town hall had $823,000, senior center had $739,000, and don't ask about the last block. Then I gave them the budget contingencies that Steve passed out at our last meeting last month, which is the next to last page, and then the other issues thing, I believe I gave them also. So we're 2/3 there. The select board and the finance committee both did it. I will be at the town meeting Monday night. Bob Kimball was at the selectmen's meeting to give me some backup. And it is what it is, and you know what I'm presenting. Is there any questions?
Just a comment. Keep it simple and keep it straight. That's all.
About what I just gave
If
you?
you've already got permission, approval from the other committees,
Right.
we don't have to get into all the
That's good.
details. Just keep
Fine.
it simple.
That's a lot of questions.
There's going to be questions about how much is left over from both accounts. And tonight, sitting in my car, I figured out we only have $1.8 million as of the 6th of excess funds. We have $883,000 for the town hall, $789,000 for the senior center. The soccer, the athletic fields was $74,000, and the Article 11 money was $116,000, which only comes to $1.8 million. Now, hopefully, I don't have an accountant in the audience, but we never know. But I had a question and I didn't get to ask Mike, where did the 1.5 that came from the Nelsons that was supposed to be used to decrease the cost of the senior center, it doesn't look like it's in there because we only have $789,000. So I want to know where the 1.5 went. I think they put it in the general fund and somebody's not just telling us that where it went, which is a violation of what the Nelsons wanted the money put to. And it'll also, if somebody asks me, according to the figures tonight, you're X amount of dollars short, how are you going to pay for it? Then that's how I'm going to pay for it. Any questions? Bob?
You mentioned about the Nelson family, where they wanted the money used. And I don't think, I've never seen their will, what they want the money to be used for. I don't know if anybody else has, or if it's public information, we can find it. But you keep saying that they wanted to use the money to.
According to the letter, I have a letter from the
I saw the
lawyer.
letter. I saw the letter. The letter was very,
So
very.
you're calling the lawyer a liar that
Yeah.
he didn't interpret the will correctly?
I'm just saying, that letter is just an overview. That letter doesn't have any detail in it.
Steve responded.
Huh?
Steve responded. Says it went to the debt service for the building.
Okay. That's what it said, right?
That's what it said.
So we have 1.5 somewhere. I mean, if, I will ask Mike if he will send a copy of the will, but I personally don't see, what's the reason for your question?
That they were gonna do what they wanted to do with the money.
Well, the money should have gone, when we got the money after finagling around trying to get hold of the lawyer, it was supposed to go towards the building of the building.
Yeah.
I can't tell you the date it was spent. I had said,
Question that.
a couple of times that we should get the money right away, and I mentioned Vertex's bill for 6 figures. It should have gone to pay for that. I don't think there's a way of tracing where 1.5 went directly to pay for the construction, but if it went into the senior center account, that would have decreased the cost of construction, which should have showed up in the surplus money, which it hasn't.
Right. There's a lot of questions, there's a lot of questions, that's what I'm saying, a lot of questions about that.
Okay, then you,
I'm all done.
I think that it was supposed to go to reduce the borrowing cost of the town.
right.
Okay.
Correct.
But in the arguments with the finance committee, the town voted for $40 million.
Correct.
So we're bonded for $40 million.
It's not to borrow it all. We don't have to borrow it all.
Well,
You'll have savings on the borrow.
That decreases the
You have
amount.
savings on the borrow.
Right.
Right,
It's
so that
another little
savings
pocket of money.
should show up, I think, in the cost of construction of the senior center.
Mr.
Chair, I
There's not
don't,
$4 million.
that money shouldn't show up anywhere in our accounting. It's all managed at the town with the town accountant and the town manager and the select board. When they go out to bond, they're just gonna bond 1.5 million less than they would otherwise. So it shouldn't be on our number of sheets at all. So you shouldn't even be talking about it, really.
Again, Steve chimed in, the money was already borrowed, the 1.5 million went to pay it down.
So instead of 40 million, it's
Yeah.
38 million 5.
Correct.
What they're telling me.
So I just won't mention it at all.
No.
Works for me. Any other questions?
I guess the question is, we're approved for 40, and now theoretically we're borrowing 38.5, right?
I guess so.
So, the delta that we're missing is 400,000 roughly.
Yep.
You're just borrowing 400 more that we already had approved anyway, because the projects were approved at 40 million. So if we still come in at 39, we all got more than we bargained for less money.
And that was, I'm not an accountant, I claim not to be anything, but I'm not an accountant, but that was the basis of my argument that,
My point is, we were authorized to spend $40 million.
right,
We're looking for 400,000, but we're $1.5 million under what we were spent anyway. The money is still there, in my opinion. We didn't go over 40, so we don't have to ask for any more money. Because this is just gonna bounce around like a ping pong ball.
anybody else?
The argument's going to be that we borrowed $40 million. The idea is now two plus demolition costs. We're still under the $40 million.
Correct.
Well, why can't we use that money to build whatever, fund schools or town hall? It's
So
entirely different pocket. And we gotta be clear on that we can't.
Yeah, the
use-
$40 million was for the project.
And that's it.
That's it. And the demolition of the town hall is a change order for the project.
Which was in the original project, correct.
So
Yes and no.
that was my argument to the finance committee.
It was cut out at 30% design. None of us knew how expensive it was gonna be. So you can't, anybody wants to argue about that doesn't know anything about construction. It was 300,000 or so when we cut it out, wasn't it? It was eight, I'm sorry. It was 8. There's a lot more to it than that. And we had, how much change orders do we have on the site? We had ledge to deal with, we had suitable soils to deal with. That's
All I
construction.
can tell you is I got the town meeting and found everybody in this place fully in support of these new building and fields and everything else, with the understanding that part of that funding would be utilized to take down the old town hall,
Yeah, I
which
agree.
is something we all agreed on.
Correct.
And that's where we started. After that, I don't know what happened.
Well, Skull Creek, things happen, unforeseen conditions, things happen. So the whole point is we didn't go over the 40.
Right.
So my game plan should be, just let the articles be introduced and make no statements outside of the article until they ask a question.
The question is asked and you deal with it.
Okay, that works also for me.
Yeah,
But knowing town meeting, there will be 10, 15 questions anyway.
But I guess what I'm stuck on, you have a meeting, town meeting Monday or something?
Yes.
And all that's gonna vote is to reuse this $1.7 million, correct? Then put it back into the
No,
general?
the town meeting article is to be able to use the 40 million on any project,
Right.
not what the individual appropriation.
Correct, but the 3 projects that we were assigned, so we can use the rest of the money, between 38.5 and $40 million, or whatever the number is.
On any of the projects,
Correct,
not just the town hall demo.
correct, yeah. Which allows us then to have the money to finish this demolition, because at some point we have to give them a go, or the price is gonna go up.
Right.
Right.
It makes sense to do it later.
Right, that was one of the phone calls I got, because when I went, somebody was watching the finance committee, and in my transparency, I said something about the cost going up from 1.2 to 2.3. And the person that called me accused the contractor of raising the price.
No.
And the price increased only because of outside costs to the architect, to Vertex. They were they were not costs that the contractor had, they were outside costs that were needed to do the contract.
You're talking the 1.2 to 1.3?
1.2 to 2.3.
Okay, that's correct.
I think it's Al Fuller, AF. Is that the?
Go ahead.
It says, how much will the construction delay penalty be? Which was the part you skipped. over.
I've been advised by the town manager that the town council, because this will be a legal matter, we cannot discuss that because it will be between the lawyers.
Just pretend that money doesn't exist.
Correct.
You'll spend it on legal fees anyway, just settle and be done with it. So I guess if the vote passes Monday, the demolition moves forward. Is that what I'm hearing?
Let me get into it when I...
Yeah,
I think that's what most of
so
us would do.
that's all I have. Well, the other town hall things, again, the outstanding things that haven't been completed, even though we're in the building and using it, is the plaza. We still have a problem with cracks in the concrete design. We're still waiting for furniture. We've still got the punch list. I believe we're waiting for a circuit breaker. Is that for here?
No, it was for that.
For that.
It's for there. We're still working.
It's on the punch list.
At the last construction meeting, Ray Cord brought up that we need 14 more phones to go from here to the governor to, I don't know, they're going way over someplace. And also that we need highway and police lines that haven't been done. So those are outstanding things from the town hall. The other things from the town hall, the food pantry is completely down. I was there at 2:30 this afternoon, and they were putting in the dirt to fill in the hole. There's some debate about when we get into full demolition mode, Seaver didn't wait long to destroy the food pantry. So there's still stuff in the cellar, which are records that for 3.5 years, we've been telling the people in the town hall to empty the cellar, and they keep kicking their can down the road. Well, the can's gonna get crushed. So they have to, I think we gave them a date of the 25th of October
Correct, that week from Friday.
to clean out the cellar. The town manager asked to keep some of the orange moving crates, because some of the people, have not emptied their crates yet. And I had a question to Steve, and I don't know if we have to work on it or not, but I don't want the project paying for those crates. 98% of the people in the senior center moved out of those crates in a timely manner. If they had to come in on Saturdays and Sundays, people did it. You know, if we have to pay rental on those crates, I think that the final date of picking up the crates, I think, was gonna be tomorrow. There's like 30 of them that are now empty that we extended the rental contract. But if these other 20 or 25 crates that the town manager wants to keep, I think the town should pay the rental for it. I don't think this project should, because they would give, and that's my own personal opinion.
Jim, I can comment on that if you want. So they were looking for, to hold on, or actually purchase a number of the rental crates. I believe it was 9 crates and 3 dollies. We got a price for it. My suggestion to the town manager was to empty the crates, return them, and you can go to Walmart or Uline or someone and get a heavy-duty tote for a lot less if you want to just keep the things in a storage container like that, as opposed to...
And I think somebody else mentioned, although I believe they belong to the town clerk, which we only have a temporary town clerk, that there are crates in the cellar that are empty, but they have voting labels on them, but they're empty. But that's for the town manager.
I don't think those are the Isaac's moving rental crates.
No, they're blue.
Yeah.
So do we want to tell the town manager, or you told him, did he respond?
He said, yes, okay, thanks.
Okay, so it's not a problem.
So there's items in the basement belonging to the town that need to be removed.
Correct.
Because the contractor said, I'm not starting work till you move them. They just won't be responsible for them. So,
Well, it'd be an added cost if they move them. The other problem is there's furniture in the other 2 floors that they have not moved or got rid of or had a yard sale or done anything with. Auction,
yeah, it all has to be moved.
it all has to be moved, and the way Seaver's moving, I think that the 15th,
That's M. O'Connor.
I'm sorry, whatever. So,
In theory, if that's a change, we shouldn't be giving them authorization to proceed without this stuff out of the way. You're just giving them a delay.
Yeah, we gave a date of Friday the 25th, because it was asked for at the job meeting. And
and it was agreed to by 3 of the town employees
Okay.
that were there, so I think we stick with that. Go ahead.
25th to clean out the cellar and get rid of the furniture?
empty the building.
Empty the building.
The other issue down there is there's been years and years of historical confidential information in those files, and I've looked at them, and they have to be destroyed. You can't just leave them in the building, you can't throw them in a landfill. They gotta be shredded, and I don't know how they're gonna do that.
I think 2.5 years ago, I mentioned to Mike,
You gotta
to
shred it.
rent a shredded truck, drive it up to the back of the building, and then go out the building and into the shredded truck.
They even give you the bins to dump it in, they bring it in and just dry. See in Boston all the time.
It's done all the time. The voting box was moved yesterday. It was in front of the old town hall, and I guess there was a confusion because the tax collector has a small box at the staff entrance of the town hall, and people were putting ballots in there. So,
I think that's what you.
they, not that they weren't secure, and they went to the treasurer, and the treasurer brought them to the town clerk, so I don't believe there's any problem there, just that they're in an improper place. But they put the voting boxes now out front, and I noticed tonight that somebody put a bicycle cable around the voting box, so that, and I hate to get into politics because I so much want to say something, but the voting box is now secure to a light pole, so they gotta cut down the light pole to get the voting box or whatever.
Electrocuted trying to get it.
Right.
Pretty smart.
Also, I mentioned to Mike, because of the confusion, when you walk into town hall, I've been in there quite a bit. I've helped like 25, 30 people. They don't know where they're going. Yes, there is index, but you walk in this way and it's in back of you. They used to have a work-off program that they had somebody sitting in the old town hall at a desk. Why isn't that person there when they really need it? Should be right in front of where the veterans agent has put the chair for the missing XPO2Ws and everything. Right next to it is, they could put the desk right there, and you walk in and you see a person and go, how do I get to the building inspector, or how do I get to the town? I mean, even the town clerk's office is sort of blocked from a view when you walk in, and it's where you face in, so.
Put a temp sign out front, too.
I don't know, he said something about moving a desk, but I mentioned it to him last week, and maybe I'm a man of action, and I expected it to be done in a couple of days, but it still hasn't been done.
Be as simple as a map.
Yeah.
Having a map there, first floor, second floor, here's where they are. At least you have a general, if I know it's on the second floor, I'm not gonna be looking around the first floor.
There's a directory on the wall,
Is it-
at the stairs to the second floor.
Right.
And then if you turn to go to the elevator, it's right there. So
But if the town already has a program to put somebody, a receptionist, in the hall, why aren't they there? We really didn't need them in the old town hall, but they had somebody there in the work-off program. Now we really need them in the new town hall that nobody knows where anything is. I just don't get it. I went over to ribbon cutting, something I didn't mention, we did mention at our last meeting, the parking confusion here. I was gonna ask Beth, have people gotten used to the,
No, we need better signage.
again,
My,
that's,
my opinion would be to have it come in one way, and then they can make the decision while they're not on the main street to go around, but I was,
I think we put light units on notice that the highway department should probably do that for you.
I also sent in an email and I haven't had any response yet.
So I just mentioned it, so we'll see what's going on. The ribbon cuttings, I brought up an interesting point that I found at the selectmen's meeting, is the fire department has an article somewhere, and I didn't see it, I heard it mentioned, for $300,000 to remodel the old new town hall.
Capital improvement.
Okay.
Some of the capital improvements can be transferred from ambulance receipts for the purpose of some
Yeah,
restoration.
so they're getting ready to move into the new part of the old town hall. So, that's enough of my junk.
Before you end with that, is that impacted in any shape or form by the demo? Okay, just asking.
I don't-
They got no
I don't
power.
really know, because I don't know what the plans are.
Well, exactly, that's kind of, they're gonna move into something that doesn't have power anymore. I'm saying something,
Well, the fire station, well, no, the fire station wasn't there before the town hall.
But the fire department has the plans of what's being done for the demolition and the patching of the exterior wall that's gonna be created.
That new section is tied to the fire department anyway. I don't
Okay.
think there'll be any issues.
just asking.
And they're gonna do some renovations in there anyway and rearrange that whole area. They're gonna want showers put in, they're gonna do
right.
expand the bathrooms.
Yeah.
we're gonna have to do things. The next floors, these on the first floor are gonna have to be expanded into the room adjacent to it. There's gonna be a lot of
Makes sense.
rewiring and replumbing anyway.
Yeah.
So, by the time you're done.
Just to know, also the demo's impacting their schedule, that's all. That's the end of their festival.
No, let's,
Okay, Steve, I guess you're up.
Okay, thank you. So, update on the town, new town hall. So progress since our last meeting, as you know, the town hall is now open for business. Punch list work has been ongoing. Again, HVAC commissioning is nearly complete. Town hall. Ed did a punch list completion initial review along with M. O'Connor, and they've taken care of, what do you think percentage-wise? 50, 60?
Most of the interior stuff.
Most of the interior. M. O'Connor is 94.7% complete with the base contract project through the end of September. Phase 2 site work has started. They've done saw cutting and pavement removal. If you've driven by, you've probably noticed that. Phase 2 abatement and the demolition of the food pantry addition. That is now been demolished this week. And demo of the trailers, the field offices for both Vertex and M. O'Connor are inside the building on the second floor, because we needed to clear those trailers out of the way for the phase 2 work. Very brief photo documentation, just a couple of photos showing what's left of the food pantry after the excavator got a hold of it. Not much.
So it peels right off, huh?
Might be nice.
Well, they did, they separated
freestanding?
it. They
It
separated
was
it
an
first.
addition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it doweled into it, or was it freestanding?
It was Ledger.
Oh, okay.
That came after the town hall. was-
No, I figured that, I just, you know, they doweled in, and it looks clean. It looks-
So there's a couple of infills they have to do, the door at the bottom. It goes into the basement, which initially they're just securing it with plywood. So look ahead schedule, continue with the landscaping as long as they can, complete the punch list on the new town hall, continue with the training sessions on the building systems, assemble and submit the closeout documents, and then continue with the phase 2 site work, which has to be coordinated with the fire department, because we are doing work on the fire department side and in front of the apron. We've had chief and deputy chief at the last couple of meetings, and we've walked the building, the exterior of the building a couple times with them now. So they're definitely in the loop. Other town hall issues, audiovisual for town hall, Pro AV, who is the contractor doing the audiovisual for the rest of the building. The select board meeting room was included in the base contract, and that's pretty much squared away. They're preparing their shop drawings for submittal and approval. There has been some additional work that's requested in the select board meeting room, which the Centec is going through. Did have a meeting with Greg Cord and the subcontractor for the electrician who's doing the audiovisual in that room, and some of the things that are more conducive to how that room is going to be used can be accomplished. We gotta get the scope. Furniture-wise, furniture's been installed. There are a few punch list items, but there's also going to be a request for additional furniture. Has that been, and did Sarah complete that yet?
I don't know, I have to ask her.
Haven't seen. So it'll be, we'll price it, and it'll have to be reviewed for approval or not. And then M. O'Connor discussion regarding damages versus the change order. We want to have a sit-down with them on Tuesday to go over that in more detail. Probably do that directly after the regular job meeting. So, budget remaining, this is updated a little bit from what Jim passed out. Senior center, still the same, town hall is the same. Miscellaneous, that 81,435 that was part of the 116,000 that Jim showed, but I had already accounted for 34,500 in the senior center budget, because that was that earmark for work that was gonna be done at the old senior center. So it's in there, but the numbers are just a little bit different. And then the ball field number. So, right now, with the miscellaneous parts of funds that the town manager and the town accountant came up with, the remainder of the ball field, and what we currently have, and I want to stress that, currently have for the senior center, is 1.718995. That's funding, that may go up, may go down, but, there's still placeholders in the budget that I'm not tapping because we're not done yet. And then as the next slide, is the recap of the town hall demo costs. And another change I did make was, originally we were showing the architect's fee at $151,100, but we had already approved the design of it, which is already accounted for, so I was able to lower that number to the $77,550. The OPM fees, the miscellaneous costs, which is the testing and a bunch of contingencies, which I can scroll down and show. That's on the last page. There's a little bit more detailed breakdown, but just for that slide, police details, fire watch. We're assuming all permits are waived. Water use, power use, temp heating, because we're going to be in the winter, street cleaning, antenna, engineering. All that is in the miscellaneous costs. So they're listing them all out, I just combine them. Third-party testing, we're going to have that because we got foundation work and compaction.
Masonry.
Masonry. The 20% contingency, that is based on the M. O'Connor costs, and we have a soft cost contingency and asbestos contingency, because as much as we know, there may be stuff we don't know. So I put in $100,000. We may not use that.
Yeah, is there any obvious,
We have
Evidence.
there's a report. We have a report that was done for the visible
I'm
stuff.
guessing down in the old shower areas, they might find some of that stuff.
Some floor tiles, some elbows, that kind of
That's
stuff.
what-
Nothing, right now, nothing
Drastic.
drastic, but until you start peeling walls off, you might have all kinds of masking.
Or floors up, flat layer over layer.
So that, excuse me, the M. O'Connor construction, so that, there was a document that I had passed out before. We were at 2.2, I was able to lower that to 2.134, remaining funds. So our delta right now, within the projects themselves, is $415,000. But again, we're not going to the town to ask for more funds. We will figure out how to get it done, whether we have to potentially de-scope something, or, again, there's line items within the total project budgets that at some point we're gonna say we don't need. Let's just use a crazy example, legal fees. We may not use all the legal fees. There may be some other things that we're carrying that we're not gonna use, and, potential change orders for phase 2. So, I think I think it's still doable. One way or the other. The key is that we're never gonna ask for any more money than what was appropriated out of the 40 million and change. And we wanna actually be lower, so that maybe there's some give back on the overall thing. But we are getting into some, demolishing a building that we don't know everything that's there.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and that's all I have for my
Hey, Jim?
presentation.
Jim?
Yes.
Yeah, thanks, Steve, for all of that. And also, the 20% contingency is not normal, so hopefully that will come in line with
If we don't use it, we...
the typical 10% or even
Yeah,
less, so.
It helps, yeah.
And there was a comment that somebody made in one of the meetings, I think, or I saw it online, that they hear 20%, I think the cost went up 20%. That's an added cushion because of the unknowns in that old building. So people need to be aware, we're not building in an extra 20% cost, we're just covering ourselves in the event that there are unexpected, unforeseen conditions in that old building. So
It's a more responsible approach.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why I asked one of you or both of you if you could attend the meeting on Monday night, because my sense is that will probably be the only question, why do you need a 20% contingency? So I know, Ed, you explained very well, so I don't, but,
I mean,
That's the answer.
you look at this at face value, there's probably 200,000 that we're probably not gonna use.
Right, we're not looking to spend it, we're looking to
Cover yourself.
put
Yeah,
it
because we don't have
aside.
to keep going back to the well, that's the whole point.
Yeah,
But there's probably easily 200,000 or 300,000 in here may not use.
correct. The idea is, yeah, again, the idea is not to spend it all,
Yeah, exactly.
but to know that we may need it.
Any other questions? I have some questions, of course. There was mention of a demolition permit. Are you working on that? Get back to,
We're waiting for Monday.
Yeah,
okay.
everything is set up. Nick reached out to Ted.
File for it.
Hmm?
Well, if it goes down, I'm not gonna stamp anything.
Stamp what? The permit drawing?
Yeah.
Yeah, building
We pay for
permit.
permit drawings.
The building department brought
This
it
is,
up.
this is a separate issue.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I would like to note that the fire chief and the deputy fire chief, every time somebody from Diggett is out in front of the building, they run out to the building, so there's close coordination to the blacktopping around the building and positioning of employees' cars and positioning of the fire trucks. We are still waiting for a letter from the blacktop manufacturer for a time to let the trucks on because the fire trucks are extra special heavy.
No, they declined to do that. They wouldn't put anything in writing, so the civil engineer told them they had to wait 48 hours.
Yep.
So,
And that's what they're gonna
That's really
do.
cool about it.
Yeah.
because we had problems here with the landscaping truck, that was a big tanker that was spraying water on the trees initially. When he turned the steering wheel, he put a lot of circles over where the employee parking was. So I can imagine the fire trucks that weigh at least that much, or not more, if they go on there too early. I mean, most people, when they have their own driveway done, they wait a week, but there's concern about leaving the apparatus outdoors, where they're gonna put it, how the people are gonna park, and the fire department is working diligently to solve those problems. I just wanna give them credit because, they're doing a good job. And probably the last thing that, well, one thing, I think that if I'm asked figures at the town meeting, I'm gonna use that next to last page versus anything I handed you in the paperclip thing. The handout from Steve.
The last two.
And I will try to explain the contingency thing. But my last question is, are either of you planning on going to the meeting?
I wasn't, but I think I can.
I personally would appreciate you going because I'm just gonna be another taxpayer up there getting stones thrown at me. And I'd sooner you get hit by the stones because you're the professional construction person.
I'm just gonna stand behind you.
What time's the meeting?
7 o'clock. At the high school.
Yeah, we're Article 11, so,
and by the way,
Actually, I had it on my, I had it for 6, but,
7.
so, yes. 7 at the high school.
what time does it get over?
I think you can take your time getting there.
But actually, I mean, they're gonna have to, they're gonna probably put us in a specific section because we're not
Can't vote, right?
town
There's a
residents.
non-voter section.
Yeah,
Yeah, they asked the town meeting members to approve letting outside experts talk. Hence, you'll be considered an expert by somebody.
so when he gets there, don't they usually let, like, the professionals sit in the front, down near the
Well, the
stage?
section on the left that they all put
Yeah.
all the non-residents.
As you walk
Yeah.
in,
to the left,
Yeah, left.
on the highs in the front, oh, okay.
Well, they're putting them down on the left.
Okay, I thought they sat in the...
Wherever they decide to put them.
Yeah.
It's a vote, they take a vote to allow you to speak on our behalf.
Yeah.
So
So
we
when
need
you,
your passport and your
License.
birth certificate. and-
Financial statement.
Yeah, there you go.
I've never seen anyone deny that.
no. And by the way, he keeps saying stones throw, that's not gonna happen. The town
Yeah.
meeting is very professional. If they just need somebody who knows what they're
I
talking
know, a
about
lot of times they
to
don't.
convey it. There's not gonna, and they don't put any of the professionals on the spot. If they have an argument, it's gonna be with Jim. That's why I'd rather have you discuss it.
Where is the high school? What?
I don't know if we
Right
go
down
the
the street,
same...
right down the street.
It's on.
At the company's on the left.
Okay.
across from
I
Huntington.
don't know if you and I
Where the
still
low
go to the
was?
same town meeting. I
Where
did
what?
literally...
With that low part
Yes,
was?
no, that's the house, it's behind.
It's behind.
Behind, okay.
It's that
I know where
It's
it
the
is.
next driveway.
I was using the euphemism for throwing stones, but you think that some people, like the zoning department, doesn't get people that are argumentative? Would you like me to name names?
I've always seen guest professionals treated with respect every single time, so.
Most of them know.
Bob would know more than I, but I've always seen the professional guest being.
I don't
treated
think
with
I scare
respect.
them away. I think he's still gonna come. He may wear his hard hat, but it is what it is.
Get a big eye on that, too.
Yes, I've been told I have to start wearing it again at the town hall because of the demolition.
Only if you win it.
Next meeting.
Yeah.
I don't just show up. That's where I was going. Did you pick a date yet?
Yes.
Well, first from Steve, do you think we have to meet? Well, we should meet every month.
I don't know.
Well, we're gonna have
We're
the
getting into the
vote,
holidays.
then open the devil's approval.
Yeah,
Yeah, we should meet.
we've got a few more meetings left.
Yeah, if all goes well Monday, when do you think they would start? The demo permit should be pretty quick.
It's not gonna start right away, there's a lot of enabling work that needs to be
Yeah,
done.
all right.
You have to, once the town meeting votes on it, the attorney general has to approve it, so it can take up to 2 weeks for that to happen. So the money can't be
Okay.
allocated until the
Yeah,
attorney
but they
general
can file the permit.
stamp of approval on the article.
There's no fee for the permits. just
Week of Thanksgiving or the week
process.
before?
Why not the week
Thanksgiving
after?
would be
The week after, we
It's
December.
December.
Week before.
Thanksgiving's late this year. Thanksgiving's the 28th.
Oh, well.
18th?
Get
I
out
think
by
we should do the
6:30.
18th.
18th.
November
The
18th.
18th is the week after?
Week before. Thanksgiving's late this year, so.
I won't be
I
here.
had on my mind.
On the 18th?
No, I'm going on a cruise.
Again?
What's the problem?
Hey, I gotta spend my kids in
Another
America
meeting
summer
without
home.
you.
It'll be the quickest meeting we ever had.
Fine, you can have it on the 18th. I'll leave you notes.
All right. 18th,
Right.
Mm.
6
Same bad
o'clock.
time, same bad channel?
I don't know, you want to meet at the new town
No,
hall?
should we meet at the new town hall?
Can we meet at the new town hall?
We'll be ready?
Yeah,
There's a lot of conference rooms in there.
yeah.
There's plenty
There won't be
of,
any difference
Just change
than this
scenery,
room.
not bother Beth.
Who do we have to confirm with?
Mike,
Hmm?
see on there?
Mike? No. Steve? Steve is.
Well, that's the problem, they don't open, they close at 4:30. So we have to open the building up.
Okay.
Unless we did Thursday,
No.
Yes.
because they'll open late on that day.
The 18th, right?
Yeah, just want to come back here?
Okay. No, hold the town hall.
Town hall?
Yeah.
But Brian brings up a good point. Are you gonna be around on any Thursdays? Because they're open late on Thursdays. You can walk right in and take one
I'll
of them.
be here after the week. I'll be here, I'll be home on Sunday of Thanksgiving week, and I'm leaving the Friday before the
22nd.
week.
So who has a calendar? What are the Thursday dates?
21st, and
21st.
28th is Thanksgiving.
21st.
Yeah, we can do it on the 21st. Are you around the 21st? Is that what he's?
No, he's
Well, I don't know what date
In fact, the
Thanksgiving.
24th, 28th.
I can do the 21st.
21st, you're not here.
20th.
Oh, okay. So
21st, town hall.
And then maybe Steve can put us on the, or you can send your invite, or your,
Yeah.
make sure we get a room.
Steve, can we get a room at town hall?
Is it a Thursday?
That's why I'm not talking, but yes, we're up there, we can.
Okay.
That Winnicott room in the front left there is usually open on Thursday nights. The select board might be meeting in their room, but, all right.
Yeah, the big conference room to the left near the veterans agent.
Sorry. What was that, Steve?
What was that date again? I think that's.
21st of November, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, we do have a meeting that night.
Well, we have the Winnicott room. Is there a meeting at the Winnicott room, Steve, that night with any other board?
Not that I know of, I think
We do have
that's
enough
the
conference
only
rooms over there.
board meeting that night is our
Take
board.
one this morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can go upstairs too.
Yeah, there's plenty of space.
There's another one right off the select room, too.
Yeah,
That's right,
yes.
there is.
That's more than enough.
Yeah.
Well, where,
One before you hit the selectmen's meeting.
Yeah, we need one.
there's a lot of stuff stored in it right now.
We'll find a space. We'll move it along, we can sit
Chairs
there.
and AV equipment, but
Worst case, we'll go to,
you'll find a place, you meet in the.
we'll go to
you can
Bog,
meet in the
we'll meet at the
rotunda.
Bog.
Oh, Jim, one thing I meant to follow up on when you were listening, there was a back-ordered delivery of furniture
Today.
to the town hall, of all those large
Thanks, Steve.
meeting room chairs.
Chairs, yeah. And I had asked somebody where two of the tables out of the meeting room next to the veterans agent went, and they didn't move them out of the selectmen's meeting room from when they met with the finance committee and the school committee. They're still in a corner somewhere, so.
You gotta go.
That's true, but I gotta ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
So,
Second. It's my favorite motion.
all those in favor? All those opposed? Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, coming in.
Thank you.